From the BakedSalmon studios in downtown Bakersfield, this is Bakeline. Here's Stoned Phillip.
Good evening, and welcome to Bakeline, COVID edition. The studio here, normally abuzz with production, a hive of activity, has been rather quiet since BakedSalmon headed home to hunker down in Virus Town, sending the interns on a snipe hunt before he left. They have not returned. Nevertheless, it has been an interesting period here in the dawn of 2020. As we near the middle of the year, it looks hopeful that we will see reported cases of the virus begin to ebb as the weather warms up and a young man's fancy turns to love. The virus, COVID-19, hasn't been all bad. At least those of us in the news game have not been lacking any headlines. The larger news outlets, your CNNs, Fox News, they all cover the big hitters. What is Trump saying? Where is Kim Jong-un? How many deaths this week caused by the virus? All important information, sure. And if that's the sort of news that you desire, by all means, go get it. You're not going to find it here. Today we bring you the BakedSalmon Network's coverage of the coronavirus. People be wilding out. Here's Fact or Not. Good evening. Our first story tonight you may have seen, but it's one of those stories you just can't look away from. It's like a car wreck. Exactly like a car wreck, actually. It is a car wreck. There was exactly one casualty in this wreck. Not a human casualty, but a tragic casualty that took from us one of God's most beautiful creations. We must warn you, some of what you are about to see and hear may be explicit. Hey, that's my line. You see how we are these days. Oh, we have fun. 6 feet, homie. Oh, right, my bad. The streets of Hell's Kitchen in New York are eerily quiet these days. The morning of April 7th was different. That, my friends, is a Gambala Mirage GT, an uber rare and highly modified version of the already extremely rare Carrera GT. As you can see, the driver attempted to flee and ended up hitting 3 more vehicles just down the road before cops arrived and treated him like an old friend.
Where you go? He's gonna run away. Stay in the car. He's hamming.
Now, if you or I was this guy, and we had slammed a Toyota Sienna a few blocks back, then fled the scene, only to crash into more cars up the street, what would the reaction of police be arriving on the scene? Put your hands where I can see them, right? Step out of the car, the whole nine. How about this exchange that comes to us from the Instagram by the name of Speed Timers?
Watch him, he gonna run.
Is that typical behavior for the cops in that area? And the bystander was making a logical assumption as the dude had already run from the first crash. Well, who is this dude? Ben Chen is the wacky racer's name. He is in fact the owner of the car-shaped pile of junk there on the street. Mr. Chen goes by BC on his private Instagram account, where he shows pictures of his fleet of gorgeous cars to his 376,000 followers. From what I could gather, old BC here is wealthy by way of rich parents, in particular, billionaire Chinese parents who live outside the United States. And for the second time in this story, I'm going to issue another viewer warning. If you have already decided that this guy is a douche, prepare to ratchet up the hatred. Some of what you're about to see and hear may boil your blood. Here's me, still. Benjamin Chen is no stranger to murdering priceless automobiles. In 2013, he managed to be speeding in the triple-digit range outside Dallas when he lost control of a rented McLaren 12C Spyder. Apparently, he traveled some distance from the road before slamming into this storage unit. For his part, Chen was cited for reckless driving. No word whether he had opted for the insurance when renting the car, though I suspect that's standard when renting a sports car of this caliber. This baby rents for $2,800 a day. That's $17,000 a week. I'm sure they tack on the insurance. September 2016, after being denied entrance to a car show for, quote, poor behavior, he managed to destroy his personal Lambo, a Murcielago LP 670 4SV. It would appear to the casual onlooker that Benny Boy is a fucking outright threat on the road to everyone, not just the unsuspecting vehicles he kills. Here's some footage I found of him racing the very same car he trashed in April, only here he's in sunny Southern California.
Oh, so angry.
Although idiotic to be tearing through Beverly Hills like this, he at least isn't swapping paint with any of the vehicles around him. And here, this is a video of Ben on a controlled track, i.e. Highway 75 in Ketchum, Idaho. He is screaming, clocked officially at 246 miles per hour, and he manages to keep the right side up. So what was different on April 7th? That he was unable to maintain control of the car at an estimated 70 to 80 miles per hour on a virtually empty street? Well, duh. Ben was on drugs. Allegedly. Makes you wonder a couple things. One, which drug? Just 'cause I'm curious. I mean, with that wreck, it kinda looks like he was roofied. And thing two, are all of these the result of drugs? It would be sweet if he would either get off the drugs or, better yet, find a different hobby, champ. How about drones? Those are popular. Yeah, maybe not. I do have one more epic fail from BC. It's probably a mistake that I could make if I was just thrown into a Mercedes CLK GTR like this and told to exit the gas station. But that would be excusable. I don't think I've ever driven a car worth more than $6,000, and none have sat inches from the asphalt. This dude is in and around high-dollar cars all the time, and he didn't know to drive out of the parking lot at an angle? You gotta hand it to him. He is no quitter. Despite the rest of the world begging him to cut it out, Ben Chen is no quitter. So he's got that going for him. By the way, while diving the web looking for dirt on this winter, I came across a different Ben Chen, an artist whose images are brilliant bastardizations of popular culture imagery. Here's a few to give you an idea. I will link to his Flickr and merch in the description. We've all seen them, shameless, wanton hussies who will do or say anything for a good time. You're out at the bar and a group of woo girls is competing with one another to see how many free drinks they can get in the course of the evening. It's just shameless. Well, here's another such story. This one is out of Seminole, Pennsylvania. Olive Veronese, 93, was not embarrassed to tell the world what she needed to get down in the lockdown. "I need more beer," read a sign that she held up while shaking her can of Coors Light. After a relative posted the photo online, it of course went viral. Miss Veronese justifies her actions, saying,
"I was on my last 12 cans. Anyway, I have a beer every night, and that's, you know what? Beer has vitamins in it. That's good for you. Only don't overdo it."
Well, on April 13th, she got her wish when Molson Coors delivered 10 cases of her favorite brew right to her front door.
My associate and I put in 10 cases of beer and drove up and made sure Olive got her beer.
This fellow, he's another hapless victim who probably thought he was going to get laid. Mark my word, as soon as the beer runs out, this hooer will be shaking her can again. Speaking of lockdown, a baby born on April 6th in Shayapur, Bhopal, India, will carry a special name with him throughout his life. Lockdown.
तो बच्चे का नाम लॉकडाउन है और माँ ने इसलिए लॉकडाउन रखा है क्योंकि जिन परिस्थितियों में इसका जन्म हुआ है देश में लॉकडाउन है.
Manju Mayil, mother of this future target for school bullies, confirmed to hospital staff,
"Yes, he is locked down, as he was born during the lockdown period."
Her husband, Raghunath, told the Times of India,
"It is a significant name, the whole world using lockdown as a means to stem this pandemic. We should not take lockdown lightly."
We here at Bakeline have translated this statement to mean, "Yeah, I know, lame, but you try telling her. I'm going to go get drunk." Perhaps the decision to give newborns non-names is a symptom of the virus. Elsewhere in India, twins born on March 27th in Chhattisgarh were given the obviously unique names Corona and COVID. Priyate Verma, 27, says her children's names are symbolic. "Indeed, the virus is dangerous and life-threatening, but its outbreak made people focus on sanitation, hygiene, and other good habits." Well, the BakedSalmon Network has plans to be on site when Corona and COVID attend their first day of school in a few years. We want to capture that magical moment when they are first shaken down for lunch money before receiving swirlies. That's an event we predict will take place many, many times. Kanyaboyina Sudhakar, an alleged car designer at the Sudha Cars Museum, get it, Sudhakar, in Bahadurpura, India, has built a vehicle in the shape of the coronavirus, as you do. He told the Times of India that he built the plucky one-seater, quote, "so that the awareness can be spread on social distancing." Well, I know that's the message I get from looking at the six-wheeled one-seater with a top speed of 25 miles per hour. You know how long it took him to build the latest car? About 10 days.
That's good or bad?
That's actually good.
"I have always made cars to give back to society in my own way," Sudhakar said. "It is important to tell people to stay home and stay safe, and the coronavirus car is meant to convey this message." Well, all I can say is, nailed it. People aren't the only ones wilding out during this pandemic. Kashmiri goats took over the Welsh town of Llandudno in March due to the lack of people out and about. In Gujarat, India, lions have again made an appearance, notably on April 5th when residents were advised to stay in as the virus would be the least of their worries on that day. A fast stop in Gatlinburg, Tennessee was the choice for this dumpster diving fellow on the 3rd. Witnesses caught this horse failing to signal its left turn on April 6th in the central region of Singapore. And then there was this thing. As an animal lover, I am confused by my desire to burn this abomination with fire. Surely the devil himself lives within this horrifying creature. That is no animal from my universe. If it is, I no longer have a desire to live in a world that beholds such terrors. Oh wait, bring that back up. Hey, Jake called. He wants Oi back. That's a little Stephen King humor for you. Police in Hyderabad, India, have taken the logical step of wearing COVID-19 shaped helmets, alleging that this is a good way to alert people to the dangers of the virus. Look at the horse here. Can't even hide its own amusement. Well, while snickering and looking through the images of this situation, I asked myself, what is this? Who is the Einstein that came up with this idea? And then I saw this, and it all made sense. Our old buddy Sudhakar. You just can't leave well enough alone, can you? Geauga County sheriffs responded to a disturbing the peace complaint late on the night of April 18th in Huntsburg Township.
911, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to report, a party.
Okay.
It's like some Amish people, and they're partying, and it's like quarantine time.
Right. Okay, sir, we'll send somebody over right away.
Here with the story is probationary intern NC14-5, Nikki Chuckles. Nikki?
Thanks, Factor Not. Nikki Chuckles here on scene in quarantine room. Have I got a story for you? It's gonna knock your socks off. In fact, if you're not wearing socks, I suggest you put some on so that they can be knocked off. It's a story about Amish people partying and it getting busted. That's right, you heard me. Amish people partying. So these Amish people are having a party, right? Well, the cops get called because the neighbors didn't take too kindly to them partying during such a time. Quarantine, corona, all that good stuff. So the cops show up and they bust up the party. They arrested a couple of people. They asked them, what are you guys doing? Why are you partying? They said, quote, we thought it only happened to older people, end quote. Fucking Amish. The irony here in this story, though, is not taken lightly, okay? Amish people, the people who social distance from the rest of the world all the time, can't figure out how to social distance during a quarantine, the most important time? Yeah. Well, I think I gotta get out of here, so I'm sending it back over to you, Factor Not. Nikki Chuckles, signing out.
Amish people are reportedly continuing to gather in large numbers, and the county health commissioner has sent countless emails to Amish bishops about an increase in COVID-19 cases in that community. The commissioner says he has yet to see a single reply to any of the emails. A recent flourish of bioluminescent organisms in the waters at San Diego's beaches resulted in the most psychedelic experience that surfers can have without actually taking a hit of four-way goonie bird. When asked to comment, one local surf enthusiast replied, "Dude, no way, dude." And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.